In the wake of the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry engaged business correspondents on what it expects as the policy direction from the government. The president, Mr. Babatunde Urase, outlined how the LCCI wants the Buhari administration to approach issues of economic growth and investment, economic management philosophy, funding of government operations, economic integration, and visa policy.
As investors' confidence begins to be restored with diminishing uncertainty, we expect to see a rebound in the tempo of the economic activities. This is therefore a good time to set an agenda for the administration as it prepares for its second term. The last 3 years have been characterized by upsides and downsides in the economy. Some of the drivers of economic conditions are internal, while others are external. Private sector investment is a critical growth driver. Therefore, the government should commit to the creation of an enabling environment to bring about a quantum leap in private investment. Consequently, tax policy, trade policy, monetary policy, and foreign exchange policy must be in alignment with this objective. The LCCI recognizes the Economic Recovery Growth Plan, ERGP, as the main economic policy document of the present administration. The plan underscores the philosophy of private sector-led economy. It is therefore important for government policies and actions to be in tandem with the contents and direction of the ERGP. The private sector should be positioned to play the role expected of it in this important policy document. This economy is blessed with quality entrepreneurs that can transform our huge potentials into concrete outcomes and value creation if they have the right environment. Funding of government operations. Top government functionaries have repeatedly expressed concerns over the funding gaps that exist in government. It is therefore important to quickly develop a fiscal sustainability strategy as the administration progresses into its second term. We need to deal urgently with the cost of governance as well as the issue of value for money in government expenditure. We recognize that there is a correlation between investment growth, GDP performance, and tax revenue. This underscores the very important role that investment can play in boosting revenue of government. As investment grows, job creation will improve, and tax revenue will be positively impacted. The government also needs to watch the growth of the recurrent expenditure in order to give more room for infrastructure financing. We appreciate the concern of the manufacturers in competitiveness issue, especially arising from possible non-adherence to the rule of origin by some of the participating countries. We therefore urge that as this administration gets into its second term, appropriate safeguards measures should be put in place to protect vulnerable sectors of the economy and to also ensure that there is effective enforcement of rule of origin. Once this is done, we request that Nigeria signs the AFCFTA visa policy. In order to attract more foreign investment, we propose that our visa policy regime should be more liberal. We should grant nationals of selected advanced economies visa-free entry into Nigeria for a maximum of 30 days. This is the practice in many of the emerging economies, and their economies have benefited tremendously from this policy. This would impact positively on the FDI and hospitality and tourism industry.
He also harped on the need for more reforms in the customs service, improvement of the rail and road infrastructure.
Nigeria Customs Service and ease of doing business. One of the biggest institutional challenges facing the business community today is the Nigerian Customs Service. The institution has created a lot of uncertainty and bottleneck in international trade process. The Nigerian Customs Service has also not fully subscribed to the executive orders focused on promoting ease of doing business in the country. We therefore advise that the Nigerian Customs Service should be compelled to forthwith subscribe to the ease of doing business policy of the government without necessarily compromising its security surveillance. It should also be done more to prioritize its trade facilitation role. Rail infrastructure. The need for a functional modern rail network cannot be overemphasized. It will facilitate the movement of people and goods while reducing cost of transportation, logistics, and freight.
The LCCI president called for the issue of access and cost of credit to MSMEs to be addressed, while abandoned federal government properties in Lagos should be revisited.
The SMEs, which contribute about 90% of business activities in Nigeria, do not have sufficient access to capital. The enactment of the Secure Transaction in Movable Assets Act 2017, popularly called Collateral Registry Act 2017, has provided legal framework for MSMEs to borrow funds with assets like motor vehicle, equipment and machinery, stock, accounts receivable, and farm produce. Nevertheless, a lot still needed to be done to ensure greater access, particularly for the rural MSMEs. We need to encourage commercial banks to increase lending to SMEs, but this can only be achieved if there is an effective credit guarantee to de-risk lending to the sector. Credit guarantees scheme for MSMEs will promote lending and provide guarantee of loan repayment. Abandoned federal government properties in Lagos. We would like to draw attention to the numerous abandoned federal government properties in Lagos. We are worried about the economic and security implications. Some of these properties include CBN properties, Old Federal Secretariat, Old National Assembly Complex at the Tafawa Balewa Square, Independence Building that used to house the Ministry of Defense and former Ministry of Commerce at the Tinubu Square. Beyond the economic waste that this situation represents, some of them serve as hideouts for hoodlums, criminals, and miscreants. The building thus pose security risks to Lagos residents. We urge the federal government to either return the property to Lagos State government, which is in the original owners of the land, or give them out on lease to private sector. There is an urgent need for the government to expedite process of procuring relevant title documents in order to facilitate their transfer for effective uses.
Other issues outlined include the need for an NIPC office in Lagos, resolution of Apapa gridlock, critical oil and gas sector reforms, and resolution of the power situation.
NIPC office for Lagos. We are worried that the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC, has no office in Lagos, which is the commercial nerve center of Nigeria. The implication of this is that private sector players have been shuttling between Lagos and Abuja for various approvals from NIPC. The interface of the NIPC is frequent and critical to the achieving objective of promoting investment and creating jobs. We urge the government to intervene in correcting this unusual situation. We need a Lagos NIPC office that will have the power to substantially attend to all needs of investors. Apapa gridlock. The gridlock in the Apapa axis of Lagos has imposed and continue to impose unbearable costs on businesses. The dysfunctional state of the port and associated logistics for cargo clearing have become a nightmare. The cost to business is horrendous, and this includes high interest costs, borrowed funds used for importing transactions, high demurrage charges, high insurance premium of vessels coming to Nigeria, high shipping costs, low capacity utilization due to problem of access to raw materials from the port, as well as traffic congestion, which has extended to the metropolis from the port. Paralysis of economic activities in Apapa axis, and many more. What we are witnessing today is a reflection of the several years of neglect of our port and other infrastructure. We appreciate some of the steps being taken by the government. We'd like to, however, reiterate that these measures need to be decisive, consistent, and sustainable. We need to restore orders and sanity to the Lagos Port Access Road. There is an urgent need to improve the regulatory environment in the oil and gas industry. This will unlock the huge foreign direct investment in the sector, especially in the gas and deep water exploration. This is one of the major objectives of the Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB. The journey for this legislation started 15 years ago, and not much progress has been made. We request that a more expeditious consideration be given to the bill through the appropriate collaborative action with the National Assembly. Crude oil export is our biggest foreign exchange earner. Ironically, the biggest foreign exchange expenditure is also on importation of petroleum products. Increases in crude oil price benefits the Nigerian economy with regard to foreign exchange earning, but penalizes the economy in terms of huge foreign exchange commitment to importation of refined products and high energy cost. We need to prioritize local refining of petroleum products to ease pressure on our reserves. We will ensure that private sector sustain its commitment to collaboration with the government in the national interest and to enhance global competitiveness of Nigeria economy.
With less than 100 days to the swearing of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term, the expectation from the business community is that it will drive pro-business and investor-friendly policies.